Friends, welcome again today. We are going to discuss about the common troubles or the common errors you will come across when dealing with EST3 fire alarm system. And let me first list them, then we discuss. One, you'll come across communication fault. You'll come across internal trouble. You'll come across short circuit trouble. You'll come across open circuit trouble. You'll come across bad type trouble. You'll come across unprogrammed device. You'll come across dirty head devices. You'll come across battery trouble. You'll come across power auxiliary overload. You'll come across network errors in case of multiple panels in the building. You'll come across false alarms. You'll come across ground faults. You will come across database exhibit. You will come across bad personalities and so on. So those are the most common troubles you will come across when dealing with the EST3 fire alarm system. So I want us with you from the list we have stated. Let's see, this panel has how many troubles from the list. So this panel has a battery trouble, you can see. It has issues with batteries. It has a ground fault. You see from our list, you can see this system has a ground fault. You can also see from there above. This system, this detector has a communication fault. Okay. Communication fault. These are just communication faults, all of them. This one has internal trouble fault. You can see internal trouble fault. Let me scroll again. This one has a dirty head device. So on this panel here we have battery trouble, communication fault, internal trouble, and you can see another one, power overload. There is also an overload on this system. Okay, so those are the troubles on this panel. How am I going to solve these troubles? That is where now the question comes in. All these troubles you have listed here, these troubles have their unique way for us to solve them. So in case of a battery trouble, let's start there. Battery trouble, this system works with 24 voltage DC. Okay, so there is a power supply which provides 24 voltage DC. So in case of a blackout, there is a provision for a backup power. So this backup power, we use batteries. So when these batteries are depleted, or these batteries have died or have failed to accomplish its task, these batteries will come as an error because their capacity, their internal resistance has increased and it can no longer provide the required current. So in that case, the battery will come as a trouble. You can see battery trouble. So you can see local trouble active, meaning that battery of that specific panel required to be changed. Okay, so we need to change the battery of that panel. Okay, so I think that is the easiest. What you can easily solve is that one, the battery trouble. This ground fault is very complex. We'll have to discuss in details. This communication fault is very complex. We have to discuss in details. This internal fault is also complex. We'll have to discuss them in details. We'll have to draw diagrams and so on. Another easy one is this dirty head. You can see this detector is 88% dirty. So meaning that when it reaches 100%, this detector will send alarms. So that alarm will not be a detector detecting smoke, it will be a false alarm. So this false alarm is caused by detectors to be dirty. So to avoid this, you should be arranging for you to clean those detectors so that you remove dust from those detectors to avoid false alarms. So the way to solve these dirty head devices is to clean those detectors. So you'll have to clean those detectors, clean them, and you'll see the trouble will disappear. So I will go to another system. I will try to also check what are the troubles on those panels. Okay, the trouble in different sites can have different troubles. Okay, so you have just to identify which trouble is it, and you should know how to deal with them and remove those troubles from the screen. You can see from me here, this one I have touching troubles. This one M1 is just a dirty head, which is also part of this. So I have to remove them, and you see this ground fault. So if you want to know the ground fault is from which and which, so if I want to know now that I know that let's start with this trouble overload. If I want to know which panel is giving me that overload, so I'll press details. So the panel where I'm expecting to find the overload card is panel 2, card 6. So it's card 6 that has an overload issue. So I will go to panel 2, then I'll have to check that card physically and to see what's wrong with that card. Then you can see here this battery, which panel has a battery. So you can see it is panel 9, card 1. So meaning that this building here has 9 panels. So you will go to panel number 9 and check the battery voltage by measuring using your multimeter. You can see here panel 8 and the panel 4. These are the same. Ground fault. So you'll have to check which panel. So the ground fault is coming from panel 7. So you'll go to panel 7 and check on the ground fault, which is causing that ground fault. Okay. Then you will come to, let's take this one. This detector here, smoke detector, is in panel 2, card 4. This is its address. So you'll have to check on the card which is carrying that detector. What is wrong with? You'll have to check what is wrong with the detector. You'll have to check the wiring. You'll have to check if there is an open circuit. So what can cause communication fault? Number 1 is open circuit. If you have an open circuit in the loop, we're expecting to have communication fault, 1 or more in the number 2, if the card has failed, the card output. So if the card is not giving any output, we'll get communication fault. Number 3, if the detector was not placed well on the base, we'll get communication fault. Number 4, if the detector itself is faulty, the detector has died, let me say like that in simple English, we'll get communication fault. So those are the most common you will come across when dealing with the communication fault. Let me check another trouble. Let's come here. So internal trouble. So this one is caused by several factors. Number 1, the detector has internal issues. If the components inside the detector, which makes a detector, is damaged, you will get an internal issue. Okay, internal trouble like this one. Number 2, the detector has a cover. If the cover is not well closed, you will get internal trouble too. So you'll have to check the 2 possibilities of the detector having internal issue, or the detector cover is not well closed. Okay, so I think I've discussed almost all the troubles available here. Yes, on this panel, how to mitigate them. So I want to show you something.